landlubber, I'm gonna cut you from stem to stern. Oh no, please don't hurt me. I am the great king, back from the dead. Arr.
Oh, hi. Yeah, I guess you kind of caught me playing with my miniatures. I think we all do, don't we? Sometimes? Most of the time? Anyway, if you haven't guessed it by now, this is going to be a pirate-themed video. This is based off of Reaper's new Brinewind sculpts that they released, and I'm really looking forward to getting through painting one of these. The one that we're going to paint today actually requires a little bit of effort from the standpoint of construction, and we're going to go through and prime it and clean it up and get ready to paint it, and then after painting it we're going to do some gluing, obviously, to put it together. But let's get right to it. Alright guys, so we're back down in the studio and I'm taking a look at how the primer set up on these. See what details I have with our zenithal. That looks good. That looks good. See where I blocked it out with tape so that way I can get primer on where I'm going to be gluing. Same thing on the bottom. Place it over here. And then this is our base. And I blocked this area out too because that's where we're going to be putting some glue down. I should have blocked this out, didn't think about it. That's where one of the treasure chests goes. And there's a treasure chest here, so hopefully they stick. Fingers crossed. So now that we have all these things sitting here, primed and ready to go, including our treasure chests and our bird, and I still want to cut that little piece out there for his mouth. I gotta remember to do that before I put it on anywhere or paint it. I'm going to set aside the elements that we're not going to be dealing with right now. I think I'm going to deal with the back of his throne right now. So the back of his throne is basically a boat with the wheel up on top. And you can see some wood grain in here. And then it looks like there's some carvings along here and the sides. So I'm hoping that we can go ahead and get those to pop out as well. Maybe a well-placed wash will do that. Okay. So let's take a look at our paints that we're going to be using. Now these are all the ones that came with my Reaper box. There's a whole bunch more. I can't fit them all in frame. But I've got to figure out what I'm going to be doing base coats with. And so I'm thinking the bottom of a boat would probably be brown of some sort. I'm wondering if this color brown might work. Rattlesnake yellow, leather. We can try this and see what it looks like. I'd like to keep the boat, because we have wood everywhere, it's going to be really important to differentiate the types of colors that we use, so that way all those wood elements are seen. And I'm not sure if I want to go with the dark brown for the boat and a lighter brown for everything else, or what. So decisions. Let's see what I have here in my stockpile. Let's see. Those are pretty dark. I don't want it to be black, meaning I don't want it to be mistaken for the color black to make it that dark. So let me see what else we have here. Maybe let's try dark highlights. So I'm going to go and get one of my brushes. Now this isn't my best brush by any means, but it is very absorbent and it will help me lay down a lot of paint very quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and wet that. And let's get started. Alright, so let's go ahead and lay our brown down and see how it looks. I'll be using a lot of this, looks like. I'm going to try to avoid that center area where the runes are to see if I can, what I'm going to do with that. Same thing on the sides here. I'm going to try and leave that alone. Thinking I might outline that in gold. It is a throne after all. And this is a pirate. We don't have a name for him yet. I almost went over this area. I didn't even think about it. Sometimes you get so into laying down paint you don't even realize where you're painting sometimes. I'm going to have a little bit of a difficult time down here where it's being held by the base. Because that stickum is going to block my access to that area, so I have to periodically pull it off and make sure I get everything. Okay. About as good as it's going to get there. Do the inside. Yes, I lick my brush. Keep it wet. Let's try and get inside here. Need some more of that brown. But I don't want to get anything in there. That is where I taped off, so that way we can glue these pieces together. But again, I want to try and get paint on every surface during this base coating process. And during this time I'm also testing colors to see if the colors are going to work. Probably a second coat will be in order. I think that's okay for now. I'm going to use my magnifier. You get to see me use it. Just to make sure that I have gotten in as good as I can around these ruins. You may hear a fan in the background. It is incredibly hot in my basement for some reason. And I threw it on and forgot that it was on, so hopefully it's not too loud. While this brush is very absorbent and allows me to lay down paint, it's not the most accurate, so I need to be careful using it. I'm going to come back in and touch everything with a little bit better brush to clean it off. I have a Reaper brush here that I'm going to use. A bit more of this brown. Alright, so I'm looking at, I've got the boat, the main portion of the boat done. Did some touch-ups, and I'm taking a look at this upper area here. And there is a lot of detail there that I want to try and get. I want this to almost, he's already wearing a crown, I believe, but I want this to almost be a crown as well. Draw some of that paint off. That looks pretty good. I need to get the inside these inside ones here too. So I'll go and do those. Okay, I'm going to go a little bold, I think, on the wheel up here. And I'm going to go ahead with a color called Mermaid Scale. Again, I've not used any of these paints before, so I don't know what it looks like. But I'm thinking more of a Key West pirate. Oh, that's a metallic. Ooh. I don't know if that's going to look right. We'll try it. Maybe. So progress on the miniature is a little slower than usual. Part of it is because we're doing a sub-assembly, so we're painting everything individually before we're gluing it together. So I'm painting surfaces that may not necessarily need to be painted because they won't be visible. Also, using colors that I have not actually seen before has been a little challenging, but it's been a lot of fun. There are some great colors, especially with the release of Brine Wind. And you'll see that the colors on the miniature will change from video to video as I take a look and determine whether it's something that I want to go forward with. So I want to say thank you again for watching. The next video will continue finishing up the boat and we'll also start on Pirate Jeff himself, which is pretty incredible. The color choices there are challenging, but I think we come out with a pretty good product. Looking forward to seeing you soon. Paint fearlessly.